Welcome back to Cooking with Papa Tuck in Papa Tuck's Kitchen. Today we got us a special treat we're doing because the holiday's coming up, so we're going to make some homemade pumpkin pie right from scratch. And this is a very, very old recipe. It's old. It comes to me by a great little lady from Up Island, Mrs. Hickey, and I'm going to use her recipe for this. Actually, I'm getting my mom's recipe too, so we'll do that in another show. But this recipe comes from pumpkins from your garden, or you can go down and pick some pumpkins up. And Mrs. Hickey says use the little pumpkins. So we've got a bunch, and I'm gonna make a real lot of this up, and I'm gonna put it in some storage bags. And you're going to want some Glad bags. These things are awesome. You can, once we get this all prepared, we're going to do this up. We're going to put them in our Glad bags. We're going to throw them right into the freezer. And when I want pumpkin pie, I'll just pull that right out and mix up. The hard part's done. Or, if you don't have pumpkins, you can use the canned mix too. You can go down to the store and get your pumpkin pie canned mix too. But we're going to make this stuff right from scratch. And very slowly, I'm going to tell you what you need if you want to do this. Let's get this over here. We're going to use Pillsbury pie crust. It's already pre-made. It's very easy. You can make your own pie crust. We've done that in a few shows in the past. Actually, it's at papabooks.net, and you can go to the YouTube and view some of the older shows if you want to know how to make that, you new cooks out there. And it's right there. And I actually think you can copy and paste from the website too. But there's two crusts in here, and we're going to be using our pie pans. And one will go to each one of the pie tins, okay? So you're going to need one box of that for 2 pies. We're going to need some eggs. Only a couple eggs goes in this, so I think per pie, I think we need like 4 eggs. You're going to need some cinnamon. I'll tell you how much when we get into it, but you're going to need cinnamon. And again, go to my website and you'll be able to copy and paste this out. You're going to need some evaporated milk. I picked up some canned evaporated milk down to Bob's. Yeah. Awesome little place. And this is optional. I'm going to use some molasses I love molasses in it. But this is optional. You do not need to do this, but try it. You'll like the flavor. Alright, you're going to need some salt. Okay. You're going to need some ground cloves, and you're going to need some ginger. So that's very easy. And of course you're going to need your cup for measuring. But now, to make this really easy, let me put this over here out the way. What's really cool is I have a pressure cooker, and what I would actually do is I would cut these up, and I'm going to show you here, but I'll cut these into chunks and I'll put them into my pressure cooker, and I'll put like a quart of water in there, and I will bring them to a boil, and I'll let that baby start pressuring and steaming. I'm not going to do that in this show because we're going to get into canning later, but this is what I would do. Once that starts steaming, you go 10 minutes on it, turn it off, let it cool, and then you take your little chunks out, and I'll show you that in a minute, and all you do is peel the skin off, peel the meat right off the skin, and put it into a mixing bowl, keep throwing it in there. You would put 1 cup of that into another bowl, another cup into another bowl. It gives you 2 cups. You can use 3, depends on how much filling you want in your pie. And the rest you would throw into your Glad bags, put in the freezer. Okay? So let's get into this. I mean, the easiest way to do this is just to cut these pumpkins. Let me get my binoculars on. Is just to cut these pumpkins up. Okay? I find that the easiest way is just to slice these babies up like this. Okay? And what we're going to do is just take the filling out. But let's cut a bunch of these up first. Let me get this out of the way. I don't want to get these all dirty yet. Get them dirty when we put them in the oven. Alright, so let's just cut our meat up. Because all we want to do is take chunks like this, and we're going to boil these. And notice I'm cutting these. I'm leaving the bottom stem in the top stem. I'm not going to boil them. There you go. Put that like that. We'll put that aside. Look how easy that cuts. Get yourself a nice knife. Just be careful. Look at that. Now you can always take these seeds out too and bake them. Just like that. And remember, make sure you wash your pumpkins real good to get all the garden dirt off them before you start cutting these up. I already had pre-washed these, but I forgot to mention that. Make sure you wash them. Look at that. And what you're after here, and don't forget, is the meat that's on the inside. The skin you do not want to put in there. All we're going to do is boil these so that the meat comes off the skin. That's all we want. Look at that. Wow. Nice hunk of meat right there. We want that. We don't want the stem there. Put that right there like that. Okay. Let's start taking some of the filling out. Okay. We'll fill up our pan. And all you're going to do is take a spoon and scrape it out. Just like Halloween, you're getting the seeds out before you put the candle into that pumpkin. Listen, the holiday's coming. Okay? It's almost Thanksgiving. When you're in that store, when you're in that grocery store, don't forget to pick up something, put it in the food pantry box. There's a lot of people out there that need help, you know. Look at that, come right out of there, very nice. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw these right into a pan as I do this. And all we're going to do is bring these up to a boil. Now there's another way to do this too, which goes way back. Back in the day, they would take a pumpkin, okay, and put it into their stone oven back in the day, or their clay oven, and they would just bake this thing, and then they would cut the top off, take the fillings out of it, okay. Now I have taken a pumpkin like this, and I've cut my top off, okay, and I've taken the insides out, and I put my top back on, breaking the stem off, of course, and I put it on 350 for about 35 to 45 minutes. You'll know when the meat starts getting real tender. Then you take that out and you just let it cool. You can spoon the meat right out of the inside of that skin right there. Now that's another way of doing it. So, but we're doing this Mrs. Hickey's way, and the only thing that we're not doing is what she would normally do, is put it into the pressure cooker. Because I can't find my pressure cooker. In fact, I got to go get a new one because I know where my pressure cooker is. It's up in, it's back home. My mom's using it because she's doing canning, so that's where that is. And when I go back up there next week, I'll get that. So I'll finish getting all these seeds out of here, and we're going to boil these up. Yee-haw! Gotta love pumpkin pie. Well, this is about what they look like. I got the insides all taken out, okay? And I have filled my pan right up, okay? And I'm probably going to break these up a little bit, and so they fit in there a little bit better. Because this pan's full. But what I'm going to do is I am going to fill this pan right up to about here with water, put a top on it, and I'm going to bring it to a hard boil. And then I'm going to clean this mess up for Mama Duck so she don't have a fit when she gets home. Well, let's get these babies over here and get them boiling. And then while I'm doing that, I'll cut up some more pumpkins. Because like I say, I'm only going to make 2 pies, but all my filling that I'm making, I'm going to put into my my storage bags, put right in the freezer for later on. Alright, now while you're at the website, checking out things, we just got the Outlaw Deer Hunter book that I wrote in hard copy. So check that out while you're there too. And then I just got an email, some publisher, we're talking about putting this thing on ebook so that you can do this on the computer, which is really cool, on your iPhones and whatever, which is upcoming. That's a whole new book world. But that's really cool. Check that out when you're at the site. Now, while the pieces of pumpkin are coming to a boil, which is going to take a little bit, I ran out of my pickled kielbasa. So I'm going to make it real quick and just throw it together. I had a little